Sit, turn type, sit. Good boy. Ruff.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff.
Enjoying the heat? Are you feeling it now these days? You getting the heat?
I hate it. I hate it. The light's off in my room for a reason. I don't want any more heat.
Yeah,
It kind of looks like I'm about to get interviewed by Uncle Howdy. So
yeah. You're embracing the dark there.
yeah.
Listen, if there's a way that I could just have like central air or like just put a muffler on my AC, I would. But you know what? Nah, fuck that. I gotta sacrifice the craft. Listen to other podcasts. There's other shit going on in their background. They got like it almost sounds like Bosnia and Kosovo and shit in their podcast. And apparently they're doing well with listenership. So what the hell, right?
No hating, just shit.
Yeah.
The way people gotta live.
I'm just keeping cool, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just trying to keep it cool.
What's your ideal temperature, sir?
My ideal temperature. I prefer that my bowl of almost a nice shade of blue. I like what the temperature rises.
Well, I like it to be like 60.
I like it around when the temperature starts rising around 42 degrees.
Okay, so you're very mid.
Yeah, very much so. I'm very into the coldness. And mind you, like as always, I'm a summer baby. So shout out to the boy I Respect the Craft podcast. Here, what's going on, Ray? Gonna be having him on the show soon. Got much to talk about with him as well. I prefer to maybe like a good 50, 55 around there. That's good for me.
Right.
It's a good temperature for me.
That sounds beautiful.
Weather is always like a conversation you start off with people with when you first meet them, or it's part of your work day. It's like, oh, so weather's bad out there, huh? And it's like, yeah. And after that, you're like, yep, time to move on. Next, gotta go. we don't have long-winded conversations.
Yeah, there's other things people try to talk to people about. Like, what color is your poop first thing in the morning? Like, that type of shit.
You know what? I'm gonna start doing that to have people just not bother me anymore. I'm gonna start going that way.
But then, like, you get those people's attention, be like, you know what? I never really thought of it that way. Like, hold on. You want to know what my color was? And then you get into a whole conversation about colors.
You got to drop out like you got to say something weird like purple and just fuck somebody's head up. Yeah, mine's a nice shade of purple. But other than that, Wrestling Rundown, ladies and gentlemen, where we discuss the news, what's going on in wrestling, the happenings, the ins and outs, and just whatever intriguing that's happening in and outside the ring. And as always, I'm the Norm McDonald of this segment, and listening to Wrestling Rundowns Weekend Update. Just a quick shout out. I've been listening to JR's book, Business About to Pick Up. So far, it's pretty interesting. He discusses his days of commentary, but also at the same time he's discussing the best matches he called and what was the call during it. The last one that I listened to was, I believe it was Hacksaw Jim Duggan and Butch Reed. That angle there. No, excuse me. No, it was Dutch Mantel and Butch Reed. That one. It was actually there was a lot of significance in that. So far, so good. So far, it's a good book. I'll let you guys know the full synopsis of that.
I know. I just saw like he's back at the hospital again, so hopefully he gets better.
Yeah. And that good old Southern Oklahoma.
I was talking with my sister today about wrestling, and she heard, like, I was watching like SummerSlam 2003, and she heard JR and she's like, Are those two alive? Are those two alive still? I'm like, they're barely hanging on, unfortunately.
Yeah, but by a thread, but okay.
I mean,
But still,
it's yeah.
listen, if JR has mentioned that he says that you have not heard the last of their match call, so we shall see. It looks like they still probably have 1 or 2 matches left to call down the line.
Maybe one more, just one more.
Next up, did someone hear of a debut that occurred on SmackDown? A certain Samoan werewolf that debuted.
Mm-hmm.
Jacob Fatu finally makes his debut on SmackDown. There's stories to say that he's been signed for some time, and was actually in Philly getting a feel and the ambiance, as they would say, of the company and such. He also cut a lot of weight. He looks fantastic, and his day. Wow, talk about making an impact. Like, what's your thoughts about it?
He looked fucking impressive. The dude lost 35 pounds, and not for nothing. I saw like reaction clips. He kind of looked like Jimmy from the back because I think Jimmy had like the red hair in his red streak in his hair for a little bit, so people got confused. And then when they realized it was Fatu, it's like, oh my god, it's actually him. I mean, you said it. I mean, he's been signed since WrestleMania 40, and then so about like 3 months now, and now he finally debuted. Man, he definitely made an impact. I did like how the commentator played up as like how dangerous he is, but some people consider it. Well, people interpret it like, oh, they alluded to his past, but I didn't think about that at all. I don't know. Like,
well, there's
like,
already. I thought he looked fantastic. I thought he cutting the weight, and mind you, meeting this man in person, hanging out with him for some time, a couple of times, and him being the size that he was, it wasn't like the size like you and I would be, a bit soft in certain areas. No, when you gave him a pat on the back, you felt that there was muscle tone, definition, and size on him. It wasn't as though it's like, nah, this guy isn't soft. He's got something going on there. So, for him to cut the weight, they said they had him at 265 now, and I'm like, man, that says a lot. This is a lot of weight cutting.
My guess is that his heaviest was probably, I would guess, close to 300 at least.
Yeah. So
just looking at him, the way he used. But the thing is, it's scary with Jacob Fatu. For a guy that big, he could move. Like he was moving. Like he was always fast, but he looked like faster on Friday. I mean, like the way he was running around the ring, and then the height he got on the Samoan splash to the announce table. I mean, it was very impactful. And meanwhile, that was like the third biggest thing on the show, but it was the most. I would say the biggest debut of the week last week. Same with Uncle Howdy stuff and Joe Hendry on NXT. I mean, WWE was killing it last week, honestly, with the debuts.
Yeah. Just for anybody who's just checking in, y'all, make sure you guys like, subscribe, be a part of the vibe of all of Turnbuckle Tabloids outlets on all podcasting outlets and all social media outlets. Guys, check in, show us some love. We'll show you back, and jump into the conversation when you feel like it. It's there for you. As for his debut, what's up?
I have a question for you. So they advertised it. There's a 6-man tag for Money in the Bank. Is he legally going to be able to go? Is he allowed to cross to Canada?
Canada, I don't think that's free. He's free for that yet. I mentioned it before some time back that was probably going to be a problem with him possibly going overseas or across the border. Him having a criminal past, although his criminal past was technically supposed to be a YO, meaning a youthful offender, because it occurred when he was around 18 years old. Right. It seems as though there's some stuff that's still lingering there. But they found a way. WWE's found ways around things before. Has gone to certain places as well. So maybe they find a way to make some exceptions for him.
I mean, we've seen how they do it for the Usos the last couple of years, and Jeff Hardy. I mean, that dude's not allowed overseas, so
Right.
we'll have to wait and see on the next couple of weeks on SmackDown. But
Right.
very impactful.
Next up, Caleb Braxton's leaving WWE. I was kind of surprised by this. I was shocked by hearing this story.
It caught me by surprise, but considering what she revealed, that she was like the third string, not behind like Kathy Kelly and Jackie. I mean, I could pretty much understand where she's coming from, where her role very much diminished in the past year. So, I mean, she wants to do something else outside wrestling. Good for her. And I was laughing about the AEW rumor that apparently she had talks with them, but then she came out and said like, "Oh, I didn't talk to anybody. I want to do my own thing." And even if like, say if that was true, she was talking to AEW, she'd be the third string person behind Renee Paquette and Lexi Nair and RJ City, or even like the fourth option, maybe.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I was well, that's kind of silly if she would do that.
Yeah, I mean, like if you want to go to TNA for a little bit, go to TNA.
Well, she mentioned on her Instagram and her Twitter feed saying that the rumors aren't true, that she's had conversations, and in fact that she alluded to saying, "Why would I want to stay in wrestling when I'm why would I go to another wrestling company when I'm in a number one wrestling company at all times? So like, why move anywhere else?" So that kind of makes sense, but I wouldn't be surprised about anything else. But good luck to her. She was there for 8 years. Damn, that's quite some time in the company.
Yeah.
Next up, congratulations to Cassie Lee and Sean Spears on their second child. Talk about two of the most good-looking people in wrestling having children. Jesus. I
never really thought of Sean Spears as good looking, but
oh, he's a good-looking man. Believe me, I've heard women swoon over him. Believe me.
The chairman.
Oh yeah, they swoon. I swoon sometime as well, but I don't do it in front of people.
People swoon.
I try my best.
People swoon and he swings.
Ah, so what you did there, Mike? So what you did there? Good one. Nice.
Sean Spears, if you're hearing this, you can see it.
They swoon, I swing.
There you go.
Next up. Wow, my man, Gangster Scorpio. Wow. Woo, Fob. If you don't know, Tuco Scorpio was arrested on June 15th for a stabbing, which occurred at his shoot gig. Apparently, he's a security guard in the Midwest, and got into an altercation with a patron of the store which he was working at. Seems as though the patient was unruly and combative when Tuco Scorpio asked if he could please not smoke a cigarette within the store proximity and the property.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently looks like so that the patron was none too kind, and that's the two coast gangster and fucked around and found out. Seems as though the victim received injuries in his arms, legs, and his head from stabbing. So Tuco Scorpio was arrested and released on bond and is awaiting his next update and trial date. Woof. That's yeah.
Jay, honestly, what else is there to say about this? Just let the legal system do their thing. I mean, it seems clear cut.
Yeah. Listen. I've heard stories, and we've heard stories about Tuco. So we shall see how he works out. Plus,
New Jack.
I'm trying to figure out whether or not. I'm just worried of whether or not he'll be able to leave the state to go if he wants to do other bookings. I know VXS is huge on booking him, so I wonder if he's able to leave the state.
Are we really caring about his booking at this point? The man, you just read off what he was arrested for. That's the last thing people should be talking about.
He claims self-defense, so free Tuco. Next up.
Don't start.
Oh, you're gonna love this one. Chelsea Green has mentioned that she's able to win the Money in the Bank and cash in she wants to bring back the Divas belt.
Yeah,
There's no such thing as dead air on audio as well.
I'm giving a thumbs up, and because we're live on video too. But
yeah, do both.
I like it. It fits the gimmick. I mean, she said that her favorite wrestler is Kelly Kelly. I mean, it fits the gimmick. I mean, it would be funny when she cashes in if God forbid. I'm still hoping for Tiffany Stratton, but it'd be a funny visual.
Oh God! Oh Jesus Christ!
The heat alone.
Oh.
She pulls a Medusa and pulls the Divas title out the garbage.
It would be just as bad as watching Michelle McCool and Layla walk around with 2 Divas titles after they broke it.
Yeah, that was very disrespectful back in the day, wasn't it?
Yeah, wasn't a fan of that. Not at all.
Yeah.
No. Please, let's keep that belt in retirement. Unless they find a way to make... No. I'm not even gonna say that. Fuck that. Nope. Let's not even entertain a design. No, thank you.
The guy that likes heels a lot. You're not in favor of this idea, even wow.
That belt is atrocious. That is even. I know little girls who didn't want that belt.
Okay.
And the little girl I know in particular was my own child. She didn't want that belt.
That's it. Well, your daughter has good taste.
Well, she does actually. Thank you. Next up, do you know who Gabby Tuft is?
Yes, I do.
Gabby Tuft,
former Tyler Rex.
Former Tyler Rex is returning to the ring. Apparently, Gabby Tuft has announced that she will make her return to the ring, and she did. Do you know what company it was? I didn't get the notice on it.
I think it was in someplace in Hollywood.
In where?
Like, in Los Angeles.
Okay.
I know it's that, but yeah, she debuted her. She returned to the ring. She has like a mother gimmick where like she has like 2 people on chains with hoods on their head. So.
Oh. Yeah. Like a dominatrix.
Yeah. Kind of like that.
Oh. Yeah. I'm interested.
Sorry.
No. I was gonna say that I liked Simon Rex, Tyler when with the dreads and the look and the such, and I didn't think that they were a bad wrestler at the time. So I'm interested to see how they come back in the ring this time around.
Yeah, I do remember Tyler Rex, where like back in the day, he came out of nowhere on the SmackDown brand. Like you said, he did have an interesting look. She kind of has a similar look now, just with a female body. She has like the dreadlocks as well, and then the gimmick. I mean, it's her decision. It's what she wants to do, but I'm happy for her, honestly. From all reports, she got a standing ovation.
Good,
this is awesome chance. Good performance overall.
Good. We'll see how that unfolds down the line. Next up, is Cody Rhodes injured? Cody recently announced at a live event and made a proclamation that he's been working injured. Is this a work?
Probably not. I mean, if they haven't acknowledged it on TV, so what? Wait, is it a work? No. He probably is hurt, but they haven't acknowledged it on TV at all. So
he did mention that he's working with 2 broken ribs, which, by the way, not an easy task to do when you're a wrestler. It's not an easy task when you're sitting on the couch watching wrestling, let alone being in the ring. So yeah. So we'll see how this plays out. What's your thoughts about what we're leading up to with Cody and their build up for not only Money in the Bank but for SummerSlam?
I figured as much with the build going on, like who it was going to be. I didn't even know about this Cody being hurt, but that probably explains why he doesn't work as much on TV anymore. He probably does big matches, and time will tell. Like one wrong move, it's over. That's the scary part about all this. But as far as him it's probably him and Solo for SummerSlam. I mean, it's going to be a big spotlight for Solo Sikoa, but with the tragedy of Roman's father passing away, I do still think Roman comes back for SummerSlam to progress the storyline because like you mentioned, Jacob Fatu, Hikuleo's on his way. The Rock is probably coming in the new year. I mean, they really can't afford to have Cody Rhodes go down right now. So I would be very cautious with him for the next couple of months, hopefully.
Next up, Triple H doesn't want to bring back the Hurt Business. This was a proclamation made by MVP on his socials when a fan asked about whether or not he'll be bringing back the Hurt Business. Is this a work?
No. I think MVP is legitimately frustrated. I mean, in today's day, you could fool the fans, but let's be real here. MVP has not been seen on TV in over a year and a half.
But he was dealing with injuries. We saw that he went to, I believe it's Brazil, to do the stem cell treatment. He and Big E was out there, so I believe he's still dealing with injuries on that.
But as far as his current role is like a manager, and the only time I've ever seen him as manager is when Omos comes out for Battle Royals on the Royal Rumble. I mean, MVP, I feel, is a talented guy that's being wasted because I know Omos is a thing where he's a free agent, he can do whatever the fuck he wants. But when you have something like Jade Cargill, like Carmelo Hayes, like you have these people in the main roster that could benefit from MVP being a mouthpiece or just being by their side,
right?
He's definitely being wasted. As far as like the Hurt Business, his MVP's claim that the Hurt Business is just the bloodline now. I mean, I could see it. I mean, it's because MVP was definitely the wisest man before Paul Heyman was. So I mean, MVP could not be. I'm thinking more than likely he's probably not one of Triple H's people. That's probably what's going on. And Triple H probably has nothing. Like he doesn't have a real vision for him at all, which kind of sucks.
I believe it to work. I actually believe that. I believe that's the next one. That's the next story. In any case, but I believe it to work. I believe that it's actually something that it might not be the Hurt Business, but I believe that it will be something else that can possibly be tied to something of that magnitude, maybe another formation and such of a super group. WWE is now being more open with factions and groupings, so I wouldn't be surprised if they have another one. I always said factions makes money. Everybody wants to buy a t-shirt. Everybody wants to be a part of something. Bullet Club was like the quintessential team with grouping faction that showed that. So when there's a faction, there's money to be made.
I do have an idea thinking about it. Because I was thinking about this too when I saw VP's comments. I was like, have him come back and kind of make a statement out of this, but let him be a representative for certain different people. It's similar to a certain real life thing, but the big baller brand. Have him represent Omos, your Carmelo Hayes, and even because eventually we know she's going to turn heel, Jade Cargill. But let him represent those three different people, like Paul Heyman back in the day when he was managing Punk and Brock at the same time.
Right.
So that'd be something to do for MVP.
That's actually a good start. As always, Mike, lumping all the black people, right?
You're thinking the same fucking thing. Don't even lie. Don't lie.
Next up, Gigi Dolan out for 9 to 12 months, 9 months to a year. Oof.
And what's the injury? ACL.
Yeah.
These fucking women. There was a stat I saw that they said that like over 20 women have been hurt with ACL since 2022.
Yeah.
What the fuck are they doing down there? Even Shotzi from the main roster got ACL torn.
Yeah. There's it's a common injury in combat sports, yes, but
not this frequently.
There's a certain it has to do with a lot of conditioning, stretching, flexibility, and for you to tear your ACLs at such a rapid and a large capacity says a lot. So I believe I heard rumblings that they were investigating doing some statistics on what's going on and what needs to be fixed down there.
I mean, Cora Jade, Shotzi, Nikita Lyons. This is her second ACL tear. Gigi
Right.
Dolan, as you said, right? And so Ruka just came back from ACL as well, and like you look at her, like she has a giant fucking knee brace on. It's like this is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's by the way, shout out to all the everybody who's been watching on Instagram and on TikTok right now. Shout out to our boy Al Bundy, Nick,
Al
and
Bundy?
Smiley. Yeah, my boy calls himself Al Bundy. And Smiley's watching on the IG. So people joining in on the TikTok as well.
We need investors' perspective on this because, like, this is toward ACLs. It can't be this fucking frequent, especially with the women.
Yeah, and that's what it is too.
Going on.
That could also be done with weight training. A lot of times, especially if you're doing a lot of squats, you could actually put a lot of wear and tear on your ACLs as well. Yeah. Next up, do you believe in Joe Hendry?
Yes, I do.
Do you believe in Joe Hendry?
Oh, bro.
Do you say his name and he appears?
You knew on Tuesday when they announced the Battle Royal and they alluded to people from other companies. First off, I didn't expect fucking Frankie Kazarian. And then I knew that Joe Hendry was going to be the fucking person to do it. And they gave him the big entrance. It's so jarring to have people from outside NXT to get the biggest reactions.
Right.
I mean, it just shows you how popular some of these people are. Like you had Jordan Grace and now Joe Hendry.
That and the fact it's WWE finally giving that opportunity of partnership, connecting, doing some for the other. I know a lot of people were upset. Hendry came into the Battle Royal, got tossed out immediately.
But it did for the meme. That was the only thing they wanted out of that.
Meltzer also made comments about it, saying it was just a waste of a spot and all that such. And I'm like, no, I actually am more intrigued now to see him again and pop up and have a shot down the line against somebody. I believe that this is going to be beneficial for him on the pop back end.
Worlds Collide, I'm telling you, NXT and TNA the week after All In in Wembley.
Shout out to Oski's in the building. Oski's in the building.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
does he have a shirt on?
I don't know. He's it's his matter of fact, no, he doesn't have a shirt. He's nude. What a pig.
Well, I mean, he's in Florida, so it's hot down there.
Yeah.
What are you gonna say?
He got an excuse. No, I like I said, I know people were, they were upset with it. I thought it was great. I thought the banter he had with Shawn Michaels actually put it over as well. And the guy is over as fuck, man. And mind you, you mentioned Hendry and you mentioned Kazarian as well. Yeah. Making
Kazarian got the jobber entry before they went live. He led the whole crop of people in the Battle Royal. And once he was like the first person to come out, people were like, oh shit, it's him. And then once Joe Hendry, then the place exploded.
Then you get
it's funny because I knew Joe Hendry before all of this, before he was the say his name. I don't even know how you would call it, how you describe it, but I remember him in ICW as the local hero, WCPW, like that type of stuff. Like,
right.
And I knew of him doing the parody entrances before all of this. So it's kind of insane to see how people have gravitated towards him. But you know what? I figured that was going to happen. When you get in the main spotlight, that's what's going to happen.
And I although it was their NXT debuts, I forgot that it was actually a WWE return for both of them, for Kazarian and Hendry. They both had a short stint in the company prior. So I'm like I said, I'm one of them that came late to the party. I'm also that guy that came late to the party for Eli Drake, aka LA Knight. But I'm that fan that is now excited to see what comes after this, what can occur afterwards. Because he did make a mention, he will make a return.
Who would you pair him with from NXT if they did the Worlds Collide show?
Oh man,
I mean, the only person I can think of, like character wise, it would be Tony D'Angelo.
Yeah.
Can you just think of the song parody that he would do on him, like some Godfather or Soprano type thing? Right.
Or Well, I wouldn't be mad with William Regal's son.
Charlie. Oh,
Yeah,
that'd
I
be
wouldn't
good.
be mad. Yeah, I would like to see him with Charlie Dempsey. Yeah.
That-
Next up, WWE to be uncensored on Netflix. Triple H has recently announced at Pat McAfee show that
Mhm.
the WWE will be lightening up on their censorship and such. I don't need it to be full blown a cuss fest on the show. I am more with what he's talking about when it comes to the audience participations on the networks where, you fucked up. This
Yeah.
is bullshit. Like, don't bleep it. Just let it go. Asshole. I'm fine with that. And if you want to drop a little shit bomb here or ass there, that's fine. But we don't need to go crazy.
Unless you're The Rock.
Yeah. Oh, please. That was the other thing he mentioned. He says, you really can't tell The Rock what really to say out there. And I get it. You're now pandering to a different audience now. Yes, the kids are still around, but Jesus Christ, at this day and age, parents, educate your kids. Be a parent. Stop letting the world fucking be your caregivers for your kids. Start doing what you got to do.
I mean, let's be real here. It got worse when they did it on Fox because when The Rock was around and he was cursing 24 like up into like a fucking sailor, like the audio would cut out. You'd be like silence, and then like I think there was one side that's like "Die Rocky Die" like the old school side, and the whole
Right.
shit went black. Like that was where like it was like okay, this enough is enough. Like, but I guess what Triple H was alluding to was that when they go to Netflix, they'll be more lenient. I mean, the last couple of weeks have been more lenient. I mean, we had fucking murder on Raw last week, and we heard "Holy shit" chants, and I didn't hear them bleep it.
Yeah. I
think it was the last 5 minutes of Raw, but they in certain instances just let it play out. Let the fans, because eventually the fans won't. There's not going to be 10 straight minutes of "holy shit" or "fuck you" chants. Like crowds know when to do certain, like how long chants will last.
I like the old days of Raw's War when like I believe it was like after the 10 o'clock hour, they got a little bit more risque. So they were a little bit
All
more
the babies
fast
are
and
in
loose.
bed. Let's have fucking fun.
Yeah, let's pull out the guns and start shooting people in home invasions.
I mean, the early day, the old school Raws too. There'd be like shades of pussy, like crack.
Yeah.
It was way worse back then.
Speaking of which, Shane McMahon is no longer signed with WWE. And there also at the same time there was discussions that Shane had reached out to Tony Khan for AEW for what?
But not reached out to Tony Khan himself, but he reached out to the talent and got a feel if for a space for him. Fucking no. We don't need Shane McMahon on AEW television, and that's not going to help them.
The only thing that I would possibly entertain would be if it was that struggle for power kind of situation, like it gimmick wise, he's fighting or buying into AEW kind of thing. For like like years ago with the invasion and such like that.
If he's the guy the Bucks want to be in charge, type of thing,
right? That would probably be the only way that I would go with that. But could you really trust the McMahon to go into the other company in a somewhat opposition to be a part of that company?
It's not even that part for me, honestly, because just the fact that it's Shane McMahon. Like, I mean, aside from him coming back that one Raw, has he really been that fucking good? I mean, he sweats through his fucking shit every time he cuts a promo. The last time we saw him, he tore his ACL doing a fucking leapfrog.
At Mania.
Yeah. Like, he made an ass out of himself. Like, do we really need to see him pop up on TNT one more time like he did 20 years ago? Not really.
Yeah, that'll probably be the only thing. It'd be like
it would help him more than the company. That'd be the big issue.
It'll be a callback to an audience that wasn't around for it.
I mean, his sons even said my dad doesn't watch that shit. Meanwhile, I don't know. It seems one-sided to me. Just the fact that because Paul Levesque's in charge of WWE, that no McMahons are in the wrestling business. Let's be real here. In 2024, there should be no more McMahons in the wrestling business.
Just when you thought it was going to be the transitioning, the handover was going to happen to the younger generation of McMahon. Nope, doesn't look like it panned out that way.
It got taken away. Got taken away because of your creepy.
But it was actually given away because that's what Vince did. He gave it away.
By force, they had to rip it out of his fucking hands, Jay.
I mean, well, I'm talking about before him with him selling the company. He pretty much sold. He gave it to TKO, and then it was basically ripped away.
Because he didn't want to fucking give his family the whole company.
All right,
selfish bastard.
Next up, speaking of family, our condolences go out to the Anoa'i family. The while Samoan Sika passes away at the age of 79. Sika, also known to everyone as Roman Reigns' father, recently was on TV maybe about 4 years ago, and was
during the
pandemic, and basically anointed
his son
Roman as a tribal chief. Our condolences goes out to the family, and always sucks to lose a family member, but not only that, a parent. Next up, does Taz have heat with Jordan Grace? Did you hear about it?
I saw the video because I saw on the video that Taz posted. He goes, I didn't even know who Jordan Grace was. Meanwhile, and then I see Jordan's response goes, I didn't. I have to keep remembering to tag the legends when I quote tweet them.
Right.
Because the thing was, she posts her pictures every day of like her working out, and she quoted Taz, like survive if you can, survive if I let you. And then people are tagging Taz in it, and then he goes, "You're stealing my gimmick, butter."
Nah, she says, he's a swing and a miss.
Right.
He then commented to say,
"You're stealing my gimmick."
Yeah, he then commented. He says, "I've never met her personally, but I've heard of her and seen her work. I enjoy what I've seen so far, but you got to understand that I'm protecting my trademark, my legacy, and when I see stuff like that, I have to ensure and let everyone know that I am the originator of it." I get where he's coming from, but at the same time, it's like
silly.
Yeah, it's a silly thing, and he's been known to be somewhat that way. But I can see both sides of this.
He's been sensitive for years about this shit.
Yeah, I can see both sides of this. Next up, also condolences to Pat McAfee. He wasn't on Raw this past week due to the passing of his father-in-law. People thought it was actually a tie-in to the Wyatt Six, but that was not the case. Shout out to Michael Cole. They brought in Miz to help out with the situation, but Miz was thrown into a match by R-Truth. Good job there, Truth. And Michael Cole actually wrote out that show by himself for 2 hours.
Good on Michael Cole. I mean, God, let's be real here. Ever since the old man left, he's been so much better on commentary.
Yeah, definitely. He kind of reminded me doing that. He kind of reminded me of Joey Styles running ECW's commentary all by himself. Yeah. So shout out to him.
I mean, I did think because I was doing it in Indianapolis. I was thinking, in the past week. Like the you lied QR codes were popping up on the show, thinking this fucker's gonna get got on Raw by Uncle Howdy. But then real life unfortunately happens. So I mean, I do feel it sucks, but
by the way,
it sucks that real life interfered.
Just to get your take on it, on the
biggest angle on the biggest angle of the year, and I'm like, where's Jay? Why isn't Jay calling me? They forgot about me. Did he get got by Uncle Howdy? Well,
no, I was waiting because everybody was already discussing it. I spoke about it in Cutting a Promo, and especially with JR, who made a comment saying that Bray was the one who carried out that comment. I mean that group that was formulating. The He carried the charisma. He had the vision for it, and it's not going to be the same without him. And it's like it hasn't even started really. Like just let it sit in the oven for a little while and get some heat. I mean, let's see how it unfolded. Your thoughts about what has we've seen in the past week or so when it came to the Wyatts?
It's interesting you say what are they trying to get heat? I mean, like are they supposed to get cheered? Are they supposed to be booed? What's the real direction here? Because I mean, they kill people, but this is a to Bray Wyatt. Like, what the fuck do we want? Because the reaction for when the lights went out, people just immediately get up, put their phones up, and it's crazy. The first night they did it, I was taken away. I was like, oh my god, the visuals, the presentation was spot on. Then Bo Dallas got that fucking great promo on the VHS player or the VHR player that Michael Cole called it. Thanks, Michael. But I mean, you just know they're continuing Bray's legacy in the best way they can, and people could say, "Oh, this shit doesn't belong in wrestling," but you know what? It's different. Like, we can't have the same bullshit or the same thing that has been working for over and over again. We need some variety. As long as they stay away from the spooky stuff, the magic stuff, and they just have this guy be a cult leader, and all these people are just following him for a mission, and there's no magic involved, I give this 2 thumbs up. Because you have people in this group that are talented as hell, but it's all going to be in the ring that dictates if this succeeds or not at this point.
I'm a fan of the of that same premise of let's not do the magic. Let's keep it as like I said, how Sanity was.
Keep it simple.
Yeah, just keep it like how Sanity is. Yeah,
5 deranged people that just want to make a statement in WWE. Like they say, oh, WWE abandoned us. They made sure that the first night they said, "You're not fucking abandoning us anymore. We're taking everybody out." I was one of those people that like, "Oh, they took out Gunther, they took out Carmelo Hayes, they took out Braun Strowman. Like, where's Triple H?" But that's what Bray Wyatt made us do as like fans of his, because his creativity was just out of this world. And again, Bo Dallas didn't know how he had this in him.
Yeah, and I like more of the line when he says, having my brother's creativity. What was it going to be, a mausoleum? I thought that was not only brilliant to say, but it was fucking touching to recognize. But also at the same time, I love the fact is that they forgot about us, and that whole premise of, you forgot about Nikki Cross, you forgot about Dexter Lumis, you forgot about Eric Rowan. I like that, and they, you threw Joe Gacy by the wayside after his group didn't do well at NXT. I like that, where it's, you're gonna recognize us now. That's what I said. I talked about it in cutting a promo. I want that kind of a feel for the Wyatt Six.
Yeah, let those guys cut the same style promos too.
Right. Next up, Shayna Baszler is returning to Bloodsport, coming to Brooklyn. I like this. I'm really over with this, man. And they're giving her a little bit extra TV time these past couple of weeks as well. I see what they're doing there. I like it.
It just shows you that if certain people aren't doing anything on TV, expect them on the indies now for certain promotions. I mean, Bloodsport is GCW event, or is it
GCW?
Yeah. So they're willing to work. So we definitely have a feeling now which promotions WWE is willing to work with at this point. So
right,
good for Shayna Baszler.
I know Brett is like fucking twiddling his nipples for getting some kind of connection with WWE. Shout out to GCW and Brett Lauderdale and that crew over there. It's a lot of work, man. Yeah.
I don't need that visual in my head.
And lastly, going into the main event, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Will AEW bounce back from the lowest Dynamite rating that they have ever received? We talked about it last week, and we said, will NXT eclipse Dynamite? I thought they would have probably got in the 800 rating area. I speak of NXT with the TNA possibility crossover. And they were almost there, but the shellacking that occurred this past week on the previous Dynamite on the I guess 2 episodes away from Forbidden Door. Was this a shocking rating to you?
Absolutely. I didn't think. We always like to joke. I love AEW. I like the idea of AEW, but we always joke about like how low can they go. I didn't think 500,000 they were going to get this low. It seemed impossible because when you look at the lineups every week, we'll go through tonight's one and just see like and make a prediction. But it's like, yeah, I didn't expect it. I expected on your Friday shows of Rampage because who gives a fuck about Rampage and Collision. I would think in those shows get those like 600,000, 700,000. It just gets annoying when you see that Dynamite can't get over 1 million. And you're just asking yourself, especially for me, it's like, what the fuck do you do?
Well, they blamed. I'm not sure if they blamed or their fan base blamed, but they blamed the NBA and the NHL finals for their low ratings. But in the previous years, they were still able to be in the 1,950,000 radius when it came to Dynamite. Also, this time around, they blamed the unfortunate lead-in of Black Panther, the movie, seen as though that Big Bang is usually their lead. So I've noticed something that Dynamite has been doing in the past few months when it came to the Big Bang lead-in. They've been allowing Big Bang to go in at the 80 to finish at the 801 mark, and Dynamite starts at that same time, meaning they'll get that quarterly hour at whatever Big Bang comes in with. Big Bang still has a strong following of viewers, even though the show's been done for years. They still have fans of it, and they grab that quarter hour, the first 15. Then after that, you see a significant dip. They've been finding every which way from Sunday to give an explanation or reasoning why they got that mark. But the real, I guess the real reasoning that we could talk about is it's not been good. I'm sorry, it just hasn't been good.
Creatively, at least. I mean, the wrestling.
Yeah.
It's two different stories. It's always like the wrestling's fine, but there's no creativity on this. I mean, I have the lineup right here. We'll go through it. I mean, we'll just judge like why people. I don't know how to phrase this because it just sounds insane to say like when you look at this show, you have the champion, the challenger, Swerve Strickland and Ospreay in the main event against Gates of Agony, former stablemate of Swerve. That's the main event advertised. You have Jay White and Ray Phoenix. That's going to be a great match. You have the Blackpool Combat Club against LIJ, 6-man tag, 6-woman tag as well. O'Reilly and Sabre Jr. You have MJF cutting a promo in his hometown. You have Mercedes Moné. Daniel Garcia is also in his hometown. And it's like, you see, that's the lineup for tonight, and you're thinking, will this crack? Like now, it's like, can they crack 600,000? Can they get above this?
I'm also into the belief that this is what happens. It's the ebb and flow of wrestling. Fans could be fickle. Fans will always, they'll be on their cultists, joining one side to another. Which, by the way, Tony Khan tells a fan that AEW beat UFC and TV ratings. Woo.
Just sit down and shut up.
The there's also I had it marked down. I have to look for it before, but there was also another reasoning that they gave for it, the dip. But at the same time, I still have to say that you got to start putting two and two together and start saying the booking that you've been wanting to have, which is very Japanese dream match orientated. It's not connecting with. Oh, that's what it was. It's not connecting with this audience. By the way, another thing they want to blame black people for. They blamed it on Juneteenth celebrations. That's why nobody was watching it. The black people were not watching it. They were too busy in the streets barbecuing and partying for Juneteenth. You lost your large black audience because of Juneteenth.
That 500,000 black people were doing something else.
Exactly. They were all watching Kendrick's concert that night. That's what it was. That's it. Blame Juneteenth and blame Kendrick Lamar. There you go.
So all the white people and the ethnicities were just watching Dynamite.
Right, exactly. They weren't paying attention to anything else, not the NBA Finals, nothing else. They were watching Dynamite. Come on, guys.
I mean, it's insane. I mean, aside from their first year when they were telling the Hangman story, can you really think of any consistent storyline going on that's compelling?
Listen,
I mean, now they're doing pay-per-views every month, and they get it each week. They have to do what they have to do, but really, like, for a guy that says I've been watching wrestling for all my life and I know what I'm doing, you really don't know what you're doing, sir.
They had 2 face-offs in one night. You had Will Ospreay facing off against Swerve, and then you had a face-off later on in the night with Will Ospreay facing off against MJF. What the fuck?
Not even 3, because they had the women do that the confrontation too.
No, I was saying 2 face-off with the same person. Like that. That's what I'm yeah. I'm like, but yeah, it's
the teasing everything, Mr. Santy.
Oh, what is it? We're laying out the breadcrumbs. Yeah, that's what we're doing. We're laying out the breadcrumbs.
MJF and Ospreay.
Hey, come on.
Future, but that's not the match you're doing right now. But okay.
Exactly. Talking about pissing on your champion, your current champion right now. And that's a big thing too. You're pissing on your current champion. Your IWGP their champion is on your show. Thank you, Mox. And yeah. We're not focused, but I'm not gonna do a whole fucking tangent on it. I just wanted your opinion to see whether or not if AEW will bounce back. They're not facing any competition. The presidential debate is tomorrow, so not facing any competition there. All major sports is done. Baseball is the only thing running right now. Maybe Olympic trials. Oh, and sorry, soccer's on. Let me see if they blame that.
I mean, the NBA draft is tonight, isn't it? Do they blame that?
No, the draft is tomorrow. I believe it's tomorrow.
Okay, my fault, but but I mean, I can only hope they go higher. But if they go lower again, there's a problem. And
yeah,
somebody has to. And I know with the TV rights deals coming up, I that's still vague to me. But if I'm representing TBS and TNT, I'm looking at this and saying, like, either bounce back in a month or I don't know. I don't want to give ultimatums, but if the numbers keep going down,
I know what Conan is. I listened to Conan and Disco briefly when they discussed it. And they were talking about, this is just a drop in a bucket money wise for them. But at the same time, network wise, is the network really going to invest? They just lost the NBA. Are they really going to invest into a sports entertainment show that doesn't seem to be grabbing an audience? Are they happy with them garnering, 650 to sometimes 750, 760 ratings every Wednesday? Are they happy with that? The time will tell.
Well, it seems like it though, because that's all we keep hearing, that they're happy with the numbers.
I guess
what they are.
I'm
just saying, if this is consistency, it's like the TNA effect too. When they always pulled to 1.1, like Spike TV was always like, "Oh, we're happy with the numbers."
Right.
It's like a weird thing with wrestling fans when they say the numbers get low, it's bad. But for the networks, they don't care. They're still making money off it.
Hey, listen, we saw NXT still survive through this shit. TNA still survives, right? But that's a different monster because they're owned by a network, so that's different. Yeah. But other than that, I'm gonna close it out here on this segment. Mike, let everybody know where you can connect with us at and what's going on.
You can follow us on Instagram and on X, or no, Instagram at Turnbuckle Tab, and on X on our new one at Turn Tab Pod.
Check us out on all the social media outlets on Facebook as well as on the YouTubes and Twitches and the TikToks as well. We had a good following today on TikTok. Thanks for you guys who stuck around and was checking us out on the Instagrams and on the TikTok lives. All the people who chimed in and checked in, thank you for your insight and such. And so for you guys, got much more content coming to you. Got big things going on. Want to do some more? About to do some streaming. Mike, you want to do some streaming on video game wise soon?
I would love to join you with that, sir.
Yeah, well, like I said, we're almost done with. I'm almost done with what I got to do over there. New download on a new DLC came out for 2K. Have you played it yet?
Not yet, because they put out another update immediately after that, so I couldn't do shit.
Okay. I'm gonna check that out as well. So as always, guys, like, subscribe, be a part of the vibe of Turnbuckle Tabloid, and thank you guys for checking in. And as always, gotta hit that outro because I don't want Mark to complain. See you guys in a sec.
2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff.
Sit, turn type, sit. Good boy. Ruff.